20th, 2021. Getting it set up, I put a camcorder in the corner of the first room. Behind the camcorder to the left, there's a second room. I hid 2 foxes over there. Hey, look, there's Bill. He has one of those detector bugs for cameras. I wanted to see if it was working. Well, as you can see, the red lights went off. He's all set up. He's probably the most active guy I've got there, in that he probably put 3 to 4 miles on his sneakers. You'll see him walking back and forth and looking under tables. Just keep an eye out for him. He's the one in the blue flannel shirt. So the one there on the right side, that's Blair. He's got his 440 antenna. He's using it to do the same thing that everybody else is trying to do. Find the foxes. Now, the guy with the red shirt that just disappeared to your left, that's Larry. W3GTP. Larry's been on the radio quite a bit. He likes to use the 9-1 repeater. And he's out there with just his FTX4 Yaesu HT. That's a small, handy talk. The guy you just saw walk past, that's the guy to help to set up the room for use by these guys. That's Kermit. He's acting as security, make sure nobody comes in through the doors, make sure nobody's messing around with the church, because he's in charge of it. He's got the key. So he goes around checking everything out. You're going to see a couple of guys appear here real quick. There's Blair hunting for foxes down in the corner. He's around one real close. There comes Jeff. He, one of our new ham radio operators, QLR, KC3QLR. He made his own antenna following instructions on YouTube, and it's one of those tape measure antennas. As you can see, a pretty good picture of it right there. Each one is cut to a length. You hook it up a certain way, and it worked. It worked with his Bofang radio. Problem is, he was unsure of the Bofang radio in itself. So there I stopped to see what I could do for him. I found a couple different things. First of all, he had locked it. He couldn't put any frequencies in. Then when we found it, we got it working. And there he goes around in a circle with the frequency, and he pointed at one of the foxes. So his antenna is working. Now, I've turned all the sound off from when I taped this thing so I could narrate it without being talked over by the squealing, because as you can see, I've got this on high speed. I come back to make sure everything is okay. I had to finally pick it up and get it off a lock so he could use the radio. There, he's got it. It's back on the frequency and it's working again. So he'll get turning it, trying to find out which way to go. And as you saw, Bill walk by again. Oh, there he is. There he is, walking in circles. Oh, he's looking under tables. He's looking around poles. And he was standing dead center of 3 of the foxes. So it all depends what frequency he's on. He disappears into that back room over our left shoulder again. There goes Kermit to check the building out. Heard noises, so he goes checks on them. There is Blair. He's within 4 feet of one of the foxes. And he's going to even get closer to it. Oh, there goes Bill. There's Larry again. Oh, Bill's walking in circles. They're both talking. I come down to show Larry a different radio. I like the FT60 for fox hunting. It has a bar graph compared to the Bofang that has that little triangular graph up in the top left-hand corner. And the FT4X isn't a bad radio. It's supposed to be the replacement for the Bofang. But I can't say I like it because it's hard to program. I've got the cable for it, but I got to buy the program to program it. And I'm not paying $31 for that. The radio in itself isn't that expensive. And it's an okay radio. but it's just not my ball of wax. I like the FX8 DR and the FT60. I also have an FT70D. Oh, here we go again, Bill walking around in circles. You notice he looked up. I instructed all the guys. All the foxes are eye level or lower. They're all, let's see, one is at shoulder height, one is at foot level, one is at waist level, one is in the trash can, which is right at foot level, and the other one is in on a shelf right about shoulder level behind our left shoulder of the camera. There's Bill still walking around in circles. He's so close to him, but without knowing what frequency he's looking for, he's getting reading from all of them. Now, I'm going to sit down at the computer to make sure all the frequencies of all the foxes are still transmitting. That's an RTL SDR, software-defined radio in the computer. I've got the little antenna. I don't know if you can see it or not. It's probably behind the screen, but it can read all the foxes that are in that room across a waterfall. So I get to every single one of the foxes to make sure they're all working, make sure the batteries are still working, and I found that they are all working. So at this point, I think I yelled to Blair that he's looking for the one that made the noise. I was unsure if I was correct, so I got my radio out, put it on a frequency, and listened, and sure enough, it was working. And there's Bill, still walking around in circles. I enjoyed Bill. Well, I guess he finally got tired, so he sat down. But as of right now, I think he only found the one fox in the fire extinguisher housing on the wall, way back there in the corner by the door. I have it camouflaged as a first aid kit. And at the end of this film, which is in about a minute and a half, you will see what the 5 foxes look like and how they were hidden around the room. There you go. That's the end of the tape. Enjoy the rest of this film. You'll see the foxes, the antennas, and then I will close it out. There you go, guys. Well, I'm home. The fox hunt is over. I've got it all on tape, as you just saw. I decided to put this on the very end just to finish this video. It's the first time I've used this program. Actually, a second. I had a birdie video on there, but it was short and too easy. So I hope you enjoyed it. This is going to be short. The indoor fox hunts are rough, I'm telling you. I hope to have one every other month now. Coming up in March, we are going to have our Simplex meeting on the air. That would be me and Joe holding that. And then in April, weather providing, we're going to have an outdoor fox hunt, at which time Joe and I have to pick a location. And we will, of course, get the word out both on our Friday night meetings on the air and our bulletin coming up. So March and April, you'll see it written on the bulletin. That's it for now. I hope you enjoyed this longer than usual video on indoor fox hunts. And sorry you didn't get to see much, but being the chair, being the leader, I had to help these guys find the foxes and use their radios properly. So that's it. Thanks again. Watch out for our next one. Bye.